I'm going U15 here again. It is Wednesday. Let's see. 13th, obviously. We're going to be doing a quick Crusader Games 2 intro playthrough, just to kind of show everybody the game's about, how it's played, and all that jazz. If you haven't played a Paradox game before, if you're kind of new to the genre, this is a grand strategy game. The grand strategy games mean that you are not playing a character, you're not even playing a nation, you're playing a dynasty over 400 years from the invasion of England from William the Bastard, 1066, all the way through 1466. The nice thing about these games, the thing that I enjoy, is that they are very open-ended. They start historically. It starts with kind of a breakdown of the countries and Alright, let's try to put it into a... This is fun. Way out and the display starts going crazy. Alright, so we'll try to keep the display zoomed in a bit so it's not too annoying to people. So yeah, you can play not only any large country like France or the Holy Roman Empire over here, Byzantine Empire, but it breaks down even further into duchies and counts as well. So if we look, we can play any of these kings. We can play Capet, got it, Harold Godwin. These are all the king levels. French territories, what the French king has at least indirect control. So we play France, we have indirect control of our land as well as the dukes and counts and ranges. Breaking down by dukes, you can see that each France is breaking down by a bunch of dukes here. We got the Duke of Aquitaine, Duke of Toulouse, Anjou, Black ones, which are kind of France proper. Those are the territories or provinces that the French king holds himself. One more time down, and you can see we'll take here. This is Aquitaine. If we broke it down by count, you can see Aquitaine is controlled by several counts. Count Robert, Count Albert, Count Hertz, and then the black ones would be the lands directly controlled by the Duke of Aquitaine. Also up here, so let's take actually. Brittany is a good example. Brittany is autonomous. They're not controlled by anybody, but they're not a king level. They're just a duke level. So this is the Duke of Brittany. They are not part of France. They're their own little country here. They're not a kingdom. They're a dukedom. So if you were to play Brittany, which we may actually play, you would start as Duke Conan II of Brittany. Underneath you, look at the counts. You only control one little territory here. Where in right is. Here we have all the counts that are underneath the Duke. Count of Dance, Count of territories. He controls Cornwall there over here. Actually holds more territory than the Duke himself, all into one. Which gets you to kind of some interesting playthroughs. This is just the independence. take a look at the British Isles. You can see this is when England was Saxon, just before Robert the Bastard, who becomes Robert the Conqueror in history, invades and makes England Norman. We'll see how it plays out in this game, but I think right now we're going to actually start with right here. We're going to start with Brittany, Conan II. He's got a bunch of vassals under him. It's a bit more difficult, obviously, because you have the Juggernaut of France over here, and it's hard to expand into French territories. There's a couple of different ways also that you can play with this game. We have the ruler designer, which means we could basically take Duke Conan II, put in the ruler designer, change everything about him, change his name, change his attributes, change his age, pretty much everything we want, coat of arms, so that we kind of make it our own experience. That's usually how I play the game, but today, just so we can kind of make sure we can keep track of all the bloodlines and all that, we'll just play Duke of Conan. We are playing with all the DLCs here. So we got the Sword of Islam, which makes all the Islamic countries down south here available. Most of Spain, North Africa. Yep, so all these Muslim countries, you can try to share by religions. You see Sunni Muslims, you see the Catholic world, you see the Orthodox world. Definitely see how Spain is about to be ruled. It's half Muslim, half Catholic, and that's one of the first kind of crusade areas along with Jerusalem. So broken down by cultures. Culture is an important part of it. If you ever rule over people who are a different culture than you, I forgot about the republics. There's 4 republics in the game. They behave completely differently. They're kind of actually overpowered, so I'm not going to play with any one of them. They exist. We're going to play with the Sunset Invasion DLC, which people don't like. Basically means it's very ahistorical. It says sometime during the game, the Aztecs are going to learn about Europe, and they're going to have the means to come on over, and they're going to send a giant dune stack of about 100,000 troops over to start invading. Gives you something a little to do a little bit later. We're also putting out the Legacy of Rome DLC, which just actually kind of increases our options, gives us the ability to raise retinues, which are kind of standing forces. Again, very easy. Jump on in, we're going to play, like I said, Duke Conan II of Brittany. We're going to start at Stamford Bridge in 1066, just as Duke William is invading. We'll see how that goes. The thing about this game is the AI is actually pretty intelligent. They know what they're doing. Okay, so taking a look at the game here, this is Brittany. This is our lands, in one way or the other. Map modes you can kind of look at. It shows us different terrain. That's usually what I'm at. So you can see that we're pretty much playing. This is kind of an important one. De jure means basically by law. So the de jure duchies will be the ones that by law we can control. You'll see that by law, the de jure duchies of Anjou are Anjou and Maine. So let's say we know that, and someone formulated a claim on the duchy, or I'm sorry, the county of Maine, and we invade. We somehow beat all of the King of France, because the King of France is always going to come to the aid of his duke. We will then take Maine, but it won't be our de jure, because by law don't own that. We just have conquered it. So I have this set up for the Republic DLC, which we're not going to need, but diplomatic relations is fine. We're all Catholic for now, at least until some of the heresies start popping up. You can see that we are Breton and Celtic. We have some Celtic brothers up here, I believe. And our economy sucks. De jure kingdom is very much just like the de jure duchies, or duchies, except for it's on a higher scale. Same thing with de jure empires. We can see that, sorry about the display, Frankia, Hispania, Empire, HRE, Scandinavia, they're all made up. A lot of them are made up, that just makes the game more interesting. Those are the de jure empires, so if we want to try to form an empire, those are the ones we can kind of hope and try and get. Okay, so let's go up here. I'm paused, by the way, if you haven't noticed. You can pause the game on single player, play at whatever speed you want, go from there. You can see our Demsey. Our Demsey is basically which lands we control. We control there we are. Oh, we won't get into that right now because that's really confusing. There's our little country. We actually just control this castle directly. If you look at the city of St. Malo here, it's actually under the control of the mayor here, Mayor Hesdrin of St. Malo. He does pay us taxes, but he actually controls it. We control his troops here. Same thing with here with the Bishop of Dole. Bishop, which means it's under control of this gentleman right here. Start with me. Okay, so here I am, the Duke Conan of Brittany. I have no wife. Which is weird, because, oh, I got you. I have no wife, so I'm not married. I'm 33 years old, there's my house, it rains. And I have a bastard son, apparently. Where's his mother? Apparently he doesn't have a mother. You can tell he's a bastard mainly because he's got this little black line here, but it also has the trait of bastard, which gives him a -1 to his diplomacy. He is gregarious, which gives him +2 to diplomacy. Anyways, back to my guy. Okay, so that's me. I do have an heir who is my sister. You can kind of look and see my siblings here. I have a brother, he's the court chaplain. I have a sister here who's a countess, Nance, so she's actually the countess, which means she's married to this gentleman here. They're actually the ones who and we have Margaret Lane, who died at age 16. She's got a little skull there, she's dead. Our other half-brother, who died at age 14. So, not a lot of people alive for our lineage. The way the game works is, if for some travesty, I was to fall in combat, Duke Conan was to fall in combat, I would immediately be taken over by my heir, who is the Countess here, Countess Hansett Mains. If she was to die, I would then take on her heir, who is probably, well, she doesn't have any heirs because she is in a patriarchal marriage to this gentleman, so he is not of my line, and none of his children are of my line. I'm sure that's going to make it very interesting. So right now I have one heir, it looks like, and that is her. If I die and she dies, game over. That's game. We have nothing to do. So our first priority is going to be to find a wife, start popping out children, because if we die, we need to have somebody take over. But we'll do that in just a second. I want to kind of look at and show some of the things in this screen. There's a lot of information here. So these are the basic stats in Crusader Kings 2. We got diplomacy, martial, stewardship, intrigue, and learning. Diplomacy is pretty much what it sounds like. It helps you keep good relationships with everybody underneath you and everybody around you. Martial, which apparently I have none of, is important for generals. It helps me